TV, our Monday night kōrero. I have the beautiful Tans with me tonight, and we're just double crew. The bro Damien has had a bit of an operation on his teeth and stuff, so the bro's out of commission. So we're just double crew for tonight, and just gonna pretty much go over the weekend's game, eh? So yeah. But anyway, before we do, how you, Tons?
I'm good, thank you, bro. I'm good. Just had a lazy weekend. Went out to dinner with my family. It was my son's birthday on Saturday, so we went to this
nice
Japanese restaurant. So yeah, it was really cool. Catch up with some family and spend that time with my son. It was really nice.
Yeah.
But I was just saying to Leo earlier that this guy came in with his Warriors top on and his phone. And I think he was planning on watching the game there. And I was just like, bro, please don't, because I want to go home and watch it. I don't want to have to hear about it here.
Yeah.
No, it was a good weekend. Yours? How was yours?
Well, it was good. Made it to the game.
No.
And and we ended up at the Lily World, and then kind of the bro and I went up, and actually I did want to do a shout out to the bro. We met this old fella named John from Tokoro. He was there with his whānau. Had a mean kōrero with him, couple of beers, and he was saying he's been a member since 1995, and it's just like, holy, the whole time, the whole
one. Okay,
and
that's
it's just
so
like,
good.
God damn, yeah, and it was just like, but the Brever actually hooked us up because me and the bro didn't actually have tickets to the game. We flew to Auckland thinking, we'll just see if someone's trying to hook some off and we'd get some. But the bro John hooked us up, and where we were sitting was just mean as. Sat in the rain for the first like 10, 15 minutes, but I was already in a good mood, so I didn't really care.
Good one.
Yeah, and like, I mean, in regards to the atmosphere of the game, it was typical Warriors Broncos game, and like it was just electric. Mount Smart was just like it was pumping.
Mount Smart's a whole different level, eh? It's so good there, man. The atmosphere is just always really good.
Yeah, heck yeah. I guess like if we kick it off, get stuck into the game. I thought it was really cool that they done a home acknowledgement for Doc Mayhew, and it was just like, that was really cool. The bro spent 14. I didn't realize it was this long. I knew he'd been around at the Warriors for a while, but he'd been with the Warriors for 14 seasons, from 2006 to 2019. So obviously there when we were like 2011. That year made the final stuff, and just and like because I'd heard of the bro before because he was associated with the All Blacks, and I'd always known that he was the All Blacks doc. And anyway, when you hear this guy had come to the Warriors and had kind of switched allegiance, I was like, wow, really? The guy had a lot of mana, and I just thought it was really cool that that they done their little announcement right at the start of the game, and I'm not even sure if it was a minute. It only felt like maybe 10, 15 seconds. Like this so-called minute silence. And but and then we just got into it in like but a typical like the boys definitely aimed up this week from the Storm game. They were just hunting on defense, and it was like it was such a markup from the weekend before, where we were with the Storm. And they're two different teams. But I think the boys, one of the big things from the Storm game was defense and making sure that the boys just get stuck in, and they did right from the start. And that was, I mean, even that first hit up from Reece Welsh. Actually, there's a little bit I want to say about Reece Welsh too. And anyway, he takes their first hit up and he gets smashed by Capewell.
Yeah.
And like even Capewell had a good game. Kurt kind of aimed up and was. Yeah.
And I was quite when I saw the lineup, I was like, oh come on, man, like. But he proved me wrong, and I'm glad he did, because he had a solid game in the centres, and he's played Origin in the centres anyway. But there were a lot of negatives and positives to take out of the game. I didn't think we were flash, but neither were the Broncos. But at the end, we got the job done. So that was what we
Yeah,
just we
like
just got
that.
the job done.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, I'll take the win.
yeah,
You know?
oh,
And
100%.
ugly wins, yeah, ugly wins are still a win kind of thing. But yeah, we didn't
I,
make it
I
easy
was
on ourselves.
I was actually nervous before the game because I thought, shit, I mean, what's his name? Payne Haas is probably the best prop in the game. Like
Yeah.
he's awesome, and I was quite worried. I was like, man,
Oh
their forward
mate.
pack's
Yeah.
really dominating. But I just I thought our defense was awesome. And I think maybe because of our game last week against the Storm, I'm wondering if that's what we concentrated on during training at the week, because man, we were just going in there and wrapping up the ball carrier, wrapping up
Everything.
that ball. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So
Yeah.
that was really awesome. I was wrapped, and you could just tell. You could tell from those first few sets, even
Yeah.
throughout the whole game, that they'd really worked on that throughout the week.
Yeah.
So
And
that was a real big positive to take out of it.
like even Paddy Kerrigan got shut down. Their two
Yeah,
main
and
strike weapons, and the boys were just all over them, and they just fronted on them. Every time and there were a couple of times like that Payne Haas. Yeah, he was kind of quiet in the first half, but he definitely came out fired up in the second half, and he
I thought we handled them really well. Even Payne
yeah
Haas, I don't know how
yeah
many offloads he got. I saw him. I think maybe
yeah
I
yeah
only think he had a couple. I can't really remember, but I was watching it
yeah
today and I seen him have one. But yeah,
yeah.
there was some negatives, I suppose. I
The
think
their first try, their first try
yeah,
was off,
that and
bro. It's like
the.
damn.
I mean, they camped. We had them camped on their line for a solid 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And they had like 5 set. We got, they had we
Oh
had 5
yeah.
starts, sorry, and we
Yep.
couldn't cross the line. So that's one thing that I wasn't happy about, is because we were there for a solid 4 minutes
Yeah.
attacking their line and we couldn't get over. Luke Metcalf's kicking and the 2 tries that we conceded in the last 15 minutes are probably the only negatives I'm going to take.
Yeah. They're like we're up 18-6 and it's just like
Yeah.
14 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And part of me is like, well, are we gonna do this or what? Because I wasn't completely sold on it. Part of me is like, these buggers are yeah. Oh, actually, the bros messaged. The Broncos are good enough to come back, and sure enough, they did. Greg Hook, hi Tans and Earl. I am watching from South Taranaki. Kia ora, Greg.
Good, Greg.
Good to see you jumped on, brother. Yeah, but that first try, it was just like Billy Walters. So he, and that was like in the first 3 minutes, and I was just like, God damn. It was yeah, that was kind of disheartening because it was just like we were D'ing up pretty good, and like you're saying, we were camped on their line. We got those 6 agains, repeat after repeat after repeat, and it was just like just looked like they were locking us out. We weren't making much ground. And then Jacko fumbles, and it's just like, oh, not again. I really like Jackson Ford.
So do I, bro.
Yeah.
And he finished the game solid. Okay, he had a couple of handling errors, but he finished the game with 46 tackles and only 2 misses and 2 errors. But I just want to put it into perspective, even for people that are watching, was actually Barney that had the most missed tackles.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he finished with 5 missed tackles.
Oh, wow.
So
how many tackles did he make?
I don't know. I didn't read that part. I think he made 30, maybe 30 something.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting twisted.
No,
but
you're right.
So he was solid. I actually thought he'd done an amazing job.
Yeah, I think Barney
going up against Haas and Paddy Kerrigan. I thought he was fantastic.
Like in the middle, and on review, the likes of so Mitch, Marata, and Aaron, for me, they were the wolf pack that Saturday night.
I agree.
They were the lone wolves just going out and just wanting to smash pricks and cut them in half. And and like Aaron Clark again, this is like the 3rd week in a row.
I know, right?
And he just fronts and he's just like pushing into their line, trying to get himself over. I think he got over the line twice, but was held up, and it's just like, fuck, I am loving this guy, man. He's
100%. So am I. What a
just,
signing he's turned out to be.
Heck yeah.
From a bench player at the Titans, and now he's a starting lock. And mate, he's not the biggest guy either, but shit, he runs with some heart. Every run when he gets that ball, he's just in there straight up the guts. And I love it. I think he's fit in. I think he's fit in with the boys really, really well.
And he's a deceptive runner for such a big guy. He's light on his feet, and he's he leaves the defense guessing. He's either going to charge straight at you or just put a light step on just before he hits the line.
For me, it's like having two Egans on the field in a way. Like, how when Egan takes those runs from dummy half, in a way, I feel like it's like we've got two Egans on the field, but Clark's just bigger. I thought Marata had probably one of, I think, his best game of the season. But I think he's been quite solid all season. A lot of people haven't really been giving him much credit, but I think he's been playing pretty good, and he really played his heart out in this game. I thought it was awesome.
He went down a couple of times too, just I think just running repairs or whatever.
Yeah.
But and I mean the most obvious bloke for Marata was just their try.
Yes.
Billy Walters was always going to snipe, and like because again Marata was like the second marker, but he just didn't slide out. So Billy Walters sliced between him and Jacko, and it's just like, had Marata been there, he might have got him, But it was just when you've got a snippy little hooker who can sniff those sort of gaps, if he knows it's half on, then he's going to back himself, and that's exactly what he done. So But they I actually thought Chris Butler, the ref, wasn't too bad. He's kind of...
No, I agree. I thought he was quite good. I thought he was quite good. Mind you, I went into the Facebook comments and all the Broncos fans are freaking,
It wasn't forward.
It's not a forward, and it just makes me laugh because I know as a Warriors fan, when I go into comments, you see all this, so it's quite funny that Broncos fans are just as bad.
Heck yeah. And even after the game, sorry, we went back to the Lily World. Every single Broncos fan I ran into, they're like, "That wasn't forward, bro." It's like, fucking hell, it was forward.
Mate. It was forward.
You guys just got lucky. And it's like, nah, bro. The ref, Chris Butler, actually done a good job. He was calling it fair both ways. So, but and because when Cobbo scored that try, and that was after the halftime hooter, was just like, oh no, man. But to hear Butler said it like 5 or 6 times. No, 4 passes. Not 4 passes, 4 passes. And they're trying to argue the point with him, and it's like, did we just get that call go our way kind of thing?
Even when he pulled up Xavier Willison for being, downtown, I thought,
I
got pulled up for that, to be honest. I was like, wow, we're getting the rub of the green here, so that was really good.
Yeah.
I also thought the boys, like, the amount of errors there was, like, with Pompey, the one where he knocked it on, and when they kicked off and he
just kind of watched it.
But, like, there were good and bads. Like, he made the errors, but then all I see in my head is that driving tackle that he made on Katoni Staggs and pushed him back like 10, 15 meters. So, there were errors, but they made up for them. Like Kusi, he made a couple of handling errors, but then, look, he jammed in, got that. I think it was on Cobbo. He ended up coming up with an error, and it resulted in a try for a runaway down the sideline. Old Koro Kurt.
Oh, honestly, but that flick back inside, and I was thinking, that was shades of when Dallin flicked the ball back to Sean, and I think it was a Titans game 2 years ago, and it was just like, I think Dallin had like 3 Titans on him, but just the fact he had the presence of mind to flick it back, and it was just like, bro, that was, and like, Catewell, because I thought he was going to make it, I thought he was just going to slide in, but again, having the presence of mind just to turn and flick it back, and because initially when he made that run, Luke Metcalf was in front of him.
I know.
And he had to drop back a couple of gears and just kind of,
Yeah. I was like, brother, come on, step back a bit.
It's like,
Slow
don't
down.
be in front, bro.
Yeah.
And then that sweeping defense come across. And it was good tackle, but just the fact it was the perfect pass, man.
It was great.
Got it back to him, and it was like, yeah, that's the one, bro. But yeah, no, I thought Chris Butler was actually he was fair to both sides, but I did notice the Broncos players were in his ears more than our lot.
Hang on, bro. Hang on. Sorry, I just need to plug my charger in.
Oh no, so it is. I guess we're single crew then. Oh well, I guess we can carry on having a yak. If there's peeps watching, like Greg, you can jump on the comments, ask any questions or whatever, or give us some feedback. Give us your honest opinion about Saturday night's game.
Here we go. I'm back.
Nice.
But yeah, I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't overly fussed with the game. I thought, like I said when we first jumped on, I thought it was really messy, but we showed up defensively. But it's kind of reminiscent, and I remember Ty saying it quite often last year, is us getting down to that end of the field, but not being able to capitalize on points.
Yep.
So we're just down there pretty much wearing ourselves out and not coming out with the meat pies. So yeah, that was concerning.
Yeah, and I think and the Aussie commentators mentioned it as well. Oh no, sorry, the Sky New Zealand commentators, they mentioned that it was obviously a part of our game plan was to punch their middles and wear them down, because like Tane Tuopiki, when he started sniping, they were struggling to contain him, and they were only just getting to him, but but the amount of times he was pushing ahead of the defensive line was just like, mate, if he had someone off on his left or his right,
I know
he would have created a lot more havoc.
He was wreaking havoc in that second half. I thought he was awesome. I thought CHT had a great game. Tane Tuopiki, Kieran Clark. Man, and I just want to give it up to our young bloods again, mate. Leka man.
Yeah.
Like Vaimunga finished that game with, I think it was 23 tackles? It was something like that with 0 misses.
Wow. Yeah. And like the Dimitrik and Leka, again on review, what I like about them is because I think Dimitrik had a bit of a standoff with Williamson. And I just love that these young fellas just won't put up with shit, and they back themselves. And and I was thinking that's a really good sign for the likes of the older guys that have been around and have, they carry a lot more experience. But to see these young guys if they get stepped to, they're happy to bring it and think, okay, then let's go.
Well, the thing is that they're laying the platform, like even with starting, like they're laying a platform for the senior players to actually take note from.
Yeah.
I mean, for a young guy to come on and not miss a tackle, I just think that's solid. It's solid work. But I just want to talk about Luke Metcalf's kicking for a minute.
Or lack of.
He kicked a beautiful 40-20. He kicked that penalty and golden point when it mattered. But that's 8 points, that we lost, and it wouldn't even have gotten to golden point if he had converted at least one more of those. And whilst I admire him for backing himself, I think you have to be realistic and think, bro, if you've missed 3, maybe you should, have faith in your other boys, or trust your other, or whoever, Adam Pompey, and hand it over. Like, I just think, imagine if that was in other games and it gets to that point. Like, you can't let it get to that point, basically. And I just hope he's not coming from a place of ego. I hope it's not an ego thing where he's like, nah, or something to silence the critics. I think at the end of the day, you need to do what's best for the team. And if that means him stepping down and passing the torch to someone else to kick, then he needs to do that.
Yeah, I think, like 99.9% of the crowd, myself included, everyone was thinking that. But at the post match interview and stuff, Webby and even Barney mentioned the whole, the young fellas. He's super confident, and the fortitude to know that you've already fluffed 3 or 4 kicks, and then think, yeah, I got this, bro. Everyone in the stadium's thinking, fucking hell, bro, you better get this. And he nailed it.
Like this. I was like, bro, I'm just going to cover my eyes and wait for the whistle because
it was like. Because we were all thinking the same stuff. It was like, why isn't Pompey kicking? He's already missed the ones that he's missed. But Barney made a really interesting comment about the whole. For me, there's 2 sides of it. Barney wants to give that young fella the opportunity or the chance, and he's only going to do that if the young fella backs himself, kind of thing.
Yeah, no,
that's the first thing. Yeah, and we're just lucky it's kind of early in the season. If there was a preliminary final or heading into the finals, it might be a different picture. But the confidence that Luke has, that his captain's going to back him any day of the week, kind of thing, and it's like, it did look like the wrong call, letting him take it, and yet we were lucky we got it, and we shouldn't have been in that position, but we were. Despite all of those odds, it's kind of like, if Luke Metcalf had been a Kiwi, then we would have been doubting it right from the start. But the fact that he missed those kicks and still had the gumption, like the kid's got kahunas, man, is like, and he's still backing himself to get this kick. It's like, and his captain backed him, and it's just like, that's a big call, man, and it's
I think it's admirable that he backed himself 100%, but but man, like, come on. I'm getting too old for this kind of heart palpitations, and I'm almost 50, bro. Like, can we just have a game where you don't put us in those situations as fans? As I said, heaps to like and heaps to dislike about the game. We still had a number of missed tackles that I'm not too happy about. Like, we had over 20 missed tackles, but for some reason we still finished with a 90% tackle efficiency, which was fantastic.
Okay.
But yeah, some of the things to work on. Man, I'm losing my track of thought. Sorry.
No, you're right. I was gonna mention too. Lecker's try again. The young fella just backs himself,
Yeah, man.
Because prior to him scoring that try, he was punching that line and he was taking it on and trying it anyway. And like less than 10 meters out, and like, there was half a gap there, but the young fella's just like, let's, just kind of done a little shuffle and just shot straight past, I think it was Jordan Ricky, and these guys are just clutching at him, and it's just like, bro, that was a mean little shuffle, mean little sidestep, and just kind of gassed it. See ya.
When was it Willison? Yeah, Willison going down the sideline, right? And was it Lecter? Okay.
Oh no, that was Dimitri.
He played at the ball.
That was a clever play.
Because he done that when we played. Was it him that done it again when he went to play at the ball? Was it the Roosters?
Oh, okay.
Or Tigers? Sure. He did it, and I'm just like, bro, can you just tackle the player with the ball? Because it could have gone either way. I was actually like, oh my god, are they going to get a 6 again because he just whacked the ball out? But I think he done it at another game. I'm just like, bro, just tackle him. Don't do that.
That whole
I like the thing that he, it's that mentality where it's just like, if he can get that ball back, he's going to do whatever he can to get it.
Yeah.
And I just love the energy that they play with those young boys. I've made such a difference in our season this year.
Oh, yeah.
Huge impact. And I'm just really blessed as a Warriors fan that they're on our side. So
that whole because like, unless the NRL change the rules. Oh, a couple more jumped on. Greg's left a couple more comments. It was so awesome that Warriors got the dub. Yeah, bro, absolutely. Yes, that's right. Too, we didn't better than they did when they played Melbourne Storm. And yes, the kicking was that good. He was lucky to get that kick over. Yeah, Yeah, that's true, bro. MVP Reese Welsh, once a warrior, always a warrior. No, because I was gonna say that just one of those stats on Welsh. Where are you, bro? He he must be carrying an injury. Well, he'd gone into the game with an injury because he was doing fuck all. Well, the 17 and a half minutes into it, Reese Welsh should run 5 meters in the first half.
Yeah, I heard the
And it's just like,
commentators say that.
what the hell?
But
Yeah.
he's also got the most years in the competition at the
Oh,
right now with 16. And I was just,
yeah.
but that was exactly the same as, was it last season? I think that was exactly the same as last season,
Yeah.
where he was number one in the comp for errors.
Yeah.
Him and Salwan Cobo. And I mean, you look at that Broncos team, they are absolutely stacked with origin players, international level, you know, like that team isn't, you know, that's $1 million team right there. And I was surprised at the way we managed to smother them.
Yeah, but Reece Welsh must be, he must be carrying, well, not so much a major injury because he was out there, but it must be niggling him to try and still be able to kind of get out there and try and play because he was doing fuck all. He done fuck all in the first half.
Well, he's out for 6 weeks. He's out for 6 weeks now. He's out I think he's out for 6 weeks now. Yeah, so Origin for him is very unlikely. And he's Queenslander too. Sorry, Ash.
I'm a Maroons man myself, but
my bad.
No, that's all good. I don't follow Origin because I'd rather follow the Kiwis. You know, that's my allegiance. Yeah. But yeah, no, Welsh done fuck all, and even you see the close-up zoom in look of him when he kicked the ball out on the full, and it was just like, you are not having a good night, brother.
Like to mess it up so bad, I was just like, bro, like, and then I saw the comments, brother, like your fans, Reese, they're not your friends at the moment, brother. They're not your friends.
For all the good stuff that he can do when he's super fit and on top of his game and backing himself and super confident and blah blah blah, then he's a freak, and he's good to watch. And you can forgive all those mistakes, but when he's not at the top of his game or plays like he did Saturday night, then it just makes it obvious.
Like I think he tries to do too much, bro. Like I think he gets too far. Like I think instead of taking the game play by play, he tries to be 3 or 4 plays ahead of the game, and that's what results in him making errors. Is because he's just like, bro, just see for what the game is right now at this second, in this minute. Don't go fucking 4 plays down the field. But look, attacking wise, I think he's one of the biggest threats in the competition. Like, and exactly like you said, when he's on, and and I wouldn't want to be a defending player trying to catch him if he's got a line break or a tackle break. So
he'll just break your ankles.
He's not a Warriors, so.
I was surprised we got him in the first place, but and he wasn't too bad. Bit of a showboater, but when you got that sort of talent, it's like, and he's young, wee bit older now, but it's just like when he gets his form back, when he gets his fitness back, he's gonna be one of their weapons,
One thing I also wanted to mention was the press conference, and obviously you saw it how Webby mentioned Egan and how he said that Egan playing 80 minutes every week isn't realistic. So does this, and I'm wondering what that means for our lineup. I'm wondering if he's going to keep Timote Martin on the bench, or maybe we'll see Healy debut shortly within the next few weeks or months or whatever, or will he bring Tanner Boyd on? I was watching the New South Wales Cup game today. Man, Tanner Boyd, far out. He's just carving it up in Cup. Like, his kicking is on.
Yeah, I'd love to see him get into the top team.
Same.
And I think I said this last week, but he's only going to get in there if either Luca or Chanel get injured. That's the only way Tanner Boyd's coming in. And Tamati, get a Jazz, Trevor. That's the only way. And then there's still Tamati, so it was good to see Tamati come on. I hadn't seen him.
Well,
haven't seen him all season. So, and the positional changes,
yeah.
so Chanel slots into hooker, and it's just like, okay, that's not. He slotted. He looks sweet as,
I
that
just
whole.
with just because he came on like with 20 minutes to go, and I just afterwards I was like, but I didn't even know he was on. Like I thought he had gone off because that's how much of an impact he had on the game. Like he didn't. I think he only had 2 runs, maybe. So that, yeah. So I was just that was disappointing because I've been waiting to see him all season. So if this bench stays the same for the Knights game, I hope, and if he has that same amount of time on the field, I really hope he gets more involved in the game and just comes in for a carry or just tries to set something up because, yeah, that was quite disappointing. And I realised it was only a short amount of time, but yeah, he had no impact on the game, and I just think he could have had a lot more impact on the game within those 20 minutes.
Jez just said, Utah's Tawa is looking mean in cup. Yeah, they had the New South Wales Cup on just before the main game, and so from the Lily World, we're watching it on the big screen. But yeah, it's like men playing boys. They were in that halves position, he was owning them. He was just carving them up, putting those kicks ahead and stuff, and it's just like, bro, this guy should be in the top team, bro.
Freddie Lussick was at prop. I was like, like, bro,
that's how good they are.
Like you're the smallest prop I ever seen, brother. But yeah, good on him. But yeah, I do think it would be good to see Tanner sooner rather than later. I hope. I just think, I just think we need some variation when it comes to our kicking, especially and kicking for territory as well. Like I don't think we're doing that well enough, and especially when if we've got tied forwards coming on, I mean. Tied forwards, it'll be good if we hit someone with a long kicking game, and I think Tanner could be really good in that, even if he comes off the bench for a 20-minute stint towards the end of the game, and just really wear out the other team. But
I did like Chanel done a banana kick in the first half, and Ben Hunt? Ben Hunt fumbled it right under the goalpost, like those kind of trickier kicks. Like sure. I'd love to see them do those more. Those because they're quite technical to pull off. But and it was wet and slippery and shit. And
just play off the cuff a bit too. Don't be try not to be too structured. Like I know some people like structure, but I don't think the Warriors have like I know years ago I can remember commentators saying the good thing about the Warriors is that they're a really off the cuff football team. But the game's changed immensely now, but I would like to see just some, I don't know, a bit of fairy dust sprinkled in there, a bit of, bit of variation would be good.
Yeah, because Adam Reynolds, so the one of those post-match interviews, he made a really interesting comment too. He was like, I can't remember who it was that was interviewing him, but Reynolds said, like the Warriors, they're playing a lot different. They're playing a lot of different football this year, and I just thought, okay, that's an interesting take from a halfback who's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
That, and he pretty much he controls the game, so he sees the game at that level, so he can pick teams apart. And I thought it was really interesting that a guy like himself would say something like that about the Warriors, because it's his job to know our weaknesses. But for him to say that, we're playing different footy, was just like, because, for us as fans, it just looks the same week in, week out. And we're all saying the same thing. It's not working. This isn't working. Blah, 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 blah. But like, when Adam Reynolds said that, I was thinking, actually, that's quite not a backhanded compliment, but he's obviously picked up on something that like Webby's trying to implement, and no doubt he's been trying to implement it for the last couple of years. But when an opposition halfback can say something like that after the game, it's just like, that was an interesting comment, about us, about our team. So, I just thought, okay, I'll take note of that. Like, no doubt, obviously they've worked out our weaknesses, but if in the time that he's been around, and if he can see that there's something different about how we're playing our game, how the Warriors are approaching it, then it's kind of like, that's a bit of a I don't know. Part of me was thinking that's a bit of a wake up call for the other 17 teams out there.
Oh,
That
yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, us and the Raiders were pretty much pegged to be the bottom of the barrel this season. And look, the Raiders and us, we're third and fourth. So
yeah,
like we're obviously doing a lot of good things, and we are. And I think a lot of that is because of the young boys. I think.
same.
I also
Same.
think winning without Fish is a huge boost for
Oh
us as
heck
well.
yeah.
And don't take this the wrong way, anyone, people in the chat, but I'm wrapped in a way. How do I say it without being offensive? Anyway,
Just say it, Tans. Just
I'm
say
happy
it.
that Leka's going to start, and I think with Fish out for the next however long it is, 4 or 5 weeks, that Leka will probably keep that starting spot. And I'm all for that. I think that's a great move. And then bringing Vaimawanga on, mate, those two a 1-2 punch, man.
Oh yeah, and those two, like I can't remember what game it was, but they were standing on the sideline together, and I just thought they look like fucking twins. They look so similar. It's kind of like
Someone shared that in one of the group chats I'm in, and it's a great photo. It's just them two. I know exactly what picture you're talking about.
And it's just like those boys. You'd think they've got the same mum, kind of thing. But the energy that they bring, and they're just hungry, and it's like it was a master stroke from Webby or whoever, as the coaching staff is, to bring those two onto the bench and then give them their game time, because they've slowly kind of just they are more and more stepping into their roles. Like Leka, admittedly, I was a bit worried him starting because I like him from the bench. But he just proved Saturday night that he's up for it, man. And he's into smashing guys, and he's into running holes, and he'll create havoc. And Dimitrik's exactly the same. They feed off each other, that energy. And then you got Barney, Jackson,
leading
Marata, and Aaron. And they're kind of, even though we're one of the smaller forward packs, those boys are they just bring good energy, man. And they're like that the entire game. Andrew Boyd,
I think Marata had an error in that whole game too. But like I said earlier, I think he had a fantastic game.
Yeah,
and it kind of reminded me of how he was, the impact that he had in 2023. And I think he started the season quite well, to be honest. I think maybe 1 or 2 games, he's probably switched off a little bit, but
I think in regards to Marata,
awesome.
I think in regard to Marata, because he's part of the leadership as well. So he might have felt it from last week or whatever, but Saturday night he came out with a point to prove. Even when he was getting injured or whatever, he's still running he's running hard lines, and like he's making it harder for the opposition to tackle him. And he doesn't mind running those lines. He does. He was doing it all night, kind of thing. Sorry, I was going to say Andrew Boyd. I think we found a bit of our mojo from 2023. Yeah,
I agree, Andrew. Yeah, definitely.
That's true, bro. Absolutely. But I just like, I agree with you as well, Tans. I think Leka, he's a starter. And like he just that healthy competition in those positions. So once Big Fish comes back, like Jacko, love Jacko, but he's got to get fucking super glue put on his fingers or something, because the amount of times, and it's just a stone cold drop, and it's just like, bro, if he got rid of that from his game, then mate, he reminds me of Bradley Clyde. He'd be like a Bradley Clyde, just runs the perfect lines, just big engine, just keeps going, doesn't stop. His only fault for me is that he drops the ball. Besides that, he's solid, and I got a lot of love for
I like
Aussie brother.
Hang on, Jazz. I actually paused the game so I could. And then I just saw because I'm like, bro, I've actually paused it on Sky so I can watch the second half after our live. My shot, bro. Thank you for letting me know. Tigers 20, Eels 26, 11 minutes ago. I actually tipped the Eels to win 1-12 too. So
serious?
Wow. Yeah, I tipped the Eels 1-12.
Wow.
Yeah. I hope I got my try scorers because I put a bet on.
Who are you betting on?
My try scorers, I had Taruva, Stafford Tour, Dylan Brown, and I think I had one more para player. I can't remember who though, but yeah. Did you? Oh shit! Sorry. Sorry. Honestly, it's not that I was just joking.
Yeah.
Did
Okay,
you
bro.
manage to catch? I just want to talk about the, and I know this is a Warriors fan TV, but did you watch the Storm and Dolphins game,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bro?
I was wrapped. They got smoked,
So
bro.
was
It
that
was
not?
like, yeah,
That
yeah,
was, even though we got the dub, I think that was the best game. And I never
yeah,
usually talk about other games on our lives, but
yeah,
I thought
yeah,
that was the best game of the weekend. That just watching them get pumped was like
yeah,
the best
yeah.
thing ever.
And
And the
Cody
way they got and the
Nicarima.
way they got pumped was
Oh
just
yeah,
freaking awesome, man.
and
I think
I like
Dolphins is
that.
gonna be my second favorite team
Yeah. Oh
after
yeah.
that performance.
It was like Cody Nicarima just stepped up and
Oh,
in like his ad lib play, his those cutbacks and just creating havoc on the inside and his inside runners, and it was just I'm just glad they smoked them. That was encouraging because it's like so they do a number on us, and
yeah. And then
I'd like to think that they blew themselves out playing against us, and then they get fucked up by the Dolphins, and it's like
they
good job.
finished with the same score. So they got beat. What was it? 42-22. Was
Yeah,
42-16 for a while, which would have been
mm,
fantastic if they finished like that because it
yeah,
would have been mirrored
yeah.
from the scores from
Oh
last
yeah,
week.
yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
yeah,
it's good for it's. I think it's fantastic for the game when those big teams lose, like
yeah,
Penrith,
yeah.
like
Heck yeah,
Brisbane, like us. Oh, well, not us. Sorry, I want us to win all our games, and like the
yeah.
Storm. I think it's fantastic that when they lose, I know there's tens of thousands of people cheering.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's the beauty of the NRL, and it's there. Yeah,
Yeah,
there are games that are like just dead givens, but the times where the underdog really steps up and against all odds wins,
they're the
those are the
best.
games you
They're
really
the
enjoy.
best.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
heck
why
yeah.
that's what being a Warriors fan is, because we're always the underdogs. We have been
Mm,
for so long, for so
yeah,
many years we've been the underdogs. And that's why I love being a Warriors fan, is because we're always pretty much like, they won't
mm.
win, they won't make it to the finals, whatever. And I love it just when we can make them eat their words.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. Heck
and
yeah.
embarrass themselves. Like no one tipped us. I don't think any of the,
Mm,
fucking NRL9 or whoever they are, Fox Sports, I don't think any of them tipped us to win this game. And so to
yeah.
come back, even though it was only by 2 points, mate, that was
Yeah.
excellent.
And I mean, yeah, so had Luca got those kicks, then yeah, we would have won comfortably. And like I think it was in the first half when Barney crossed the line, got a try, but it was the knock on kind of thing,
Yeah,
and it was just
yeah.
like so the boys were there to play, um, and and again it was at the post match when so the Pacifica jersey they had on, yeah, I was in your camp as well. I thought it kind of looked quite ugly, but when Barney mentioned the whole just acknowledging Sunny Fire and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, it's got a bit of depth to it, and
No,
other and previous Pacifica players, it's just like, oh no, that's cool.
I
But
like the
yeah,
tops. I think they're pretty. It was Damien that was like, bro, they're fugly ass. It was Damien. That wasn't me. I was
yeah,
like, bro, I like them. I
yeah.
want to buy me one.
I like the design, but I didn't like the colours. I thought that,
Yeah.
but then Ty mentioned in our comments that there was like a black strip like that, and I was thinking, fuck, that would have been me, bro, just a black on black or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was,
They're very
yeah,
feminine, I reckon.
you reckon?
Yeah, I think they're quite well, no, probably just the colours. But I like the tops. I want one. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe page, guys, to get one. Okay?
but
I'll
but
post all the details.
we went to the market Sunday morning, and you see those cheap knockoffs for like $50, but they've got the Warriors home and away jerseys, the Indigenous jerseys, and it's just like I'm so tempted to buy one, but then part of me is like, those are real. The problem with knockoff jerseys is that they're just cheap material and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind it, I'm just saying it's but they're everywhere. Get them for a
Yeah.
third of the price. So yeah, it's a Yeah, I didn't like the color scheme. I didn't like the color scheme. Andrew,
Yeah.
oh, Jazz. Oh, sorry, got to go back go up a couple. New South Warriors played at Trust Arena, West Auckland on Saturday, 4 p.m. nights. It's free.
That's good
Oh,
that it's free. Awesome.
yeah,
Very
that's cool.
didn't find
That's
it
real
very
cool.
confusing at first, but now I love it. Yeah, especially after hearing the meaning behind it and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Sunny by
yeah,
tribute on the sleeve. Yeah, I thought that was awesome. And
yeah.
kudos to bloody
That was
Barney,
cool.
man. Like, I love that guy, how he just
Mm.
embraces the culture. You know, how
Yeah,
he
yeah,
acknowledged that. He said
yeah,
it in the press conference. And I'm
yeah,
like, bro, like, you're the man. Like,
yeah.
I just, I think he's awesome, man. And he's a great leader for the club.
Oh yeah, and like I put in our comments about the last time we had an international front row was Ruben Wiki and Steve Price, and
Wow.
we've got Big Fish and Big Barney. Well, once Fish gets back, and admittedly they're at the start of those international careers. Well, Fish has been around for a while, but he's a Kiwi captain, and it's just
Mm.
like the pair of them are going to make a huge impact on the international stage.
Bro, I honestly like watching, even though we're only at game 7, I think we've got one of the best forward packs in the competition. And that's my honest opinion. Like, I watch every game and I just think, mate, yeah, we got fucking annihilated by the Storm last week. But apart from that, I think we've got a solid forward pack, man. Especially with Aaron Clark in the middle now. Like, we've just got so much to offer. And I think other teams would be wise to actually think how, like, not second guess us and think that we're going to be pushover. And I don't think other clubs do, but yeah, I think we've definitely got one of the best forward packs in the comp.
And I think that's
I
what
mean,
Uncle's been
the last
building,
time
eh?
we won four out of 7.
Well, yeah,
Well,
like
4
I
out of
went
6.
back and
One of them's a
yeah,
tie.
so I checked the last time. So 2023, 7 rounds in, we were third on the ladder.
Oh,
Last year we were 10th. This time,
mm,
round 7. So and if 2023 is going to be the marker year from which we can work from, because the previous years were COVID years, and they were shithouse for us anyway. But yeah, for the Warriors to be even in the top 4 after round 7, it's just like no one saw that coming.
no.
um,
Hey,
and
man,
it's
even as a fan, I probably didn't either. And it
mm,
just,
same,
you
same.
know, but um, we're doing a lot of good things. You know, I think Fish, like, he's not one of those props. You know, he's not a Payne Haas and he's not a Adam Fanoa Blake.
Mm.
Neither is Mitch Barnett, but there's just something about them that they don't have to have all of that
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
game
yeah,
to be dominant.
yeah,
You know, they
yeah,
don't have to have that fancy footwork and
yeah.
all the offloads and whatever else.
Mm,
They're just different, but they're just the money and just, you know, how
mm.
they hold themselves on the field is fantastic. And
Oh yeah,
just our
yeah.
young boys, and you can see that it's really rubbing. And I mean, look, you can see it when they come on the field.
Mm,
You know,
yeah,
the young
heck
ones,
yeah.
and
And I
yeah,
think Barney was like because he was doing a lot of offloads at different times. He hasn't done them so much this year. Um, but the thing with Barney for me is like that's where him and Fisher Harris almost mirror each other. They've just got a presence about them. So
yes, I
and
totally
like when their teammates have done like a good hit up or a good hit or just whatever, they're generally quite low key with their approach, but they're one of the first to get in there and congratulate them, and it's just
agree.
like they definitely lead from the front kind of thing, and but they'll do all the little extras as well around their teammates, and it's just like that's it's infectious, and while we're in the admittedly we've been building since 2023 with this particular squad, and I like what you said about the whole we're a good forward pack
Yeah,
because
man.
yeah we are smaller, but again, that's Uncle's kind of picked out what our strengths are and what he knows he can and can't work with, and he's it's like he's put a laser focus in on, okay, these are what we're good at. Let's stick to these things because if we nail these, the momentum in the game's gonna swing our way. We just need to
Mm.
focus on these particular areas.
Yeah,
So
100%. I think it's evident that that's what we focused our our week on at training. Well, that's what I'm assuming, is that we focused a lot on our defense.
yeah,
Because our
yep,
defense, and if you like, I watched it live and I've watched the replay twice, and just the way we were going in and wrapping up, like it
mm,
was. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you who was probably
Yeah.
stood out for me the most at doing that, and that was Lecker.
Mm.
So if you guys go
Yeah.
back and watch it, you watch him. In every
Mm.
tackle he went up and made, he was wrapping
Yeah.
his arms, wrapping up that ball.
Yeah.
And I just yeah. And as a fan, it's just awesome to see, man. I'm just like, that's solid. And even Barney said it last week in the press conference. He even said then that, you know, the young boys came on and showed us how to tackle, showed the senior
Yeah.
players how to tackle.
Yeah.
And they even done it again
Yeah.
last night. So yeah, was it last night? Wait,
Night
what
before.
day it is? Yeah, night before.
Jazz asked you another question there, Tons.
Tons. Want another update on the Eagles game or not? I don't know, but did you hear my? Oh, you got the sideway eyes there. Far right. Are you serious? No, wait.
Okay.
The Tigers scored, eh? I bet you.
Oh, they might have.
I hope not.
I was going to say, just Jazz, their comment above them. Our four pack did so well against the Broncos, eh? Yeah, bro. Payne Haas was killing it, but we still managed to hold them out just enough. Kudos to our boys, hard, eh? Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Because I was nervous, and I bet you everyone in the comments, everyone in the chat, I don't think I was the only one that was nervous about going up
Oh,
against
yeah.
this Broncos forward pack. But I think where Madge
Mm,
messed up was I think he had, I don't know, 3 hookers in his lineup
mm,
and not having Willison on his bench. So he started Willison, and I think Willison's a great impact player off the bench. And I think
mm,
that's where, you know, him coming on, yeah, when you got
mm.
tired forwards. And I think that's where Madge messed up, just as who he chose to play on his bench.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been a different outcome if Willison came off the bench and he maybe dropped a hooker. Because
I like that. I like that Dimitri and
ah,
Xavier were just they were at each other, and it's just like
yeah,
that's the one. Again, those young bucks, young bloods, just kind of giving it a good go. But our boys just went back and off, and it's just like, when was the last time we had second rows or even props like that? They were just like super confident, in how they just they get in there and they're like, they just know they can make a real difference or do damage and
yeah,
just just go hard. Even when they get pushed back, and those boys did get pushed back a couple of times Saturday night, but they're still in there, and they're doing it straight back to their Broncos pack. And it was just like, mate, it's just, it warms the cockles of my heart, times, I'll tell you.
is your cup full, bro? My
Yes,
cup.
yeah.
But
Yes, very.
and what's like earlier on, I mentioned about like, yeah, there were errors made, but then it was the way we counteracted those errors. Like,
Mm,
you know,
yeah.
Kusi coming back and making that excellent tackle.
Mm,
I think it was on Cobo, as I said, and you know,
mm,
we got the lollies, picked up those, and
mm,
you know, because the Pompey tackle on Stags. So
yeah.
there were heaps of good things to take out of the game that we didn't throw our toys out the cot. You know, we actually
Oh,
fought.
yeah. Yeah.
And I think as Warwick, you know, I think we've been guilty of not fighting to the end a lot of
Yep.
times in a lot of
Heck
games. And
yeah.
last season,
Heck
you
yeah.
know, we actually lost those games. Where they were close, we actually lost them. So to see that we're actually winning those close games now is
Mm.
really awesome. So yeah, I've
And
got to take
again,
the good with the bad. Even, and I saw your comment, Greg Hook. Thank you for letting me know the score again. Appreciate you guys. Even though I wanted to watch the game after this, but hey man, love you guys. Thank you. God damn it.
damn,
Um,
that's hard case. I thought the Tigers were going to get up for that.
no,
Damn.
I had a feeling with Mitch Moses back. I was like, there's just. I hope that's. Are you telling the truth, Greg? I see that. I knew that the Eagles would get up with Mitch Moses back. Um,
Yeah.
Well, let's see. How's Dylan Brown going with his Super Coach points? Is he good? I bloody hope so. But yeah, I don't want to ever get to that point in the game. Like, I don't want to. If we're going to win a game, a close game like that, I want to make sure that, you know, it's 3 converted tries, not 4 tries and fucking 4
Yeah.
misconversions.
Yeah.
You know, like, do
The
better, Luke. And I know he can. And I seen when he kicked the last conversion, um, that he felt it then. Like, you know,
mm,
he's going like
yeah.
this, and I'm just like,
Oh
well,
yeah.
you need to. But I also hope, like Webby and Barney, and yep, they backed him at the press conference, and I think that's fantastic. But I also hope that they go to him and are like, bro, like I just think as a player and what's doing best, if you're going to do what's best for the team, and if that means handing over those reins to someone else and let them do the kicking, then just do it.
I think in a fucked up kind of way, that's exactly what they're doing. If you know what I mean. Because they wouldn't have backed the young fella if they thought he's second guessing or even just hinting that I'm not actually up for this. They know that, and it's if it's an Australian trait or whatever, but those Aussies, how they approach the game and stuff. They probably are a bit more resilient than the Kiwis, because the Kiwi boys, even our kickers, when they get their head down, it takes ages for them to come back. Like, had that been a Kiwi kicker, if Adam Pompey was our kicker and he'd missed 3, you could almost guarantee he would have missed the rest of them. But the fact that this kid stepped up and it was just like, bro, that fucking confidence, man. It's like,
if he missed that kick, I'd be on here right now saying fucking little,
But he didn't,
But he didn't. And I suppose, you never know, even if he did hand it over to Adam might have missed it. But all I'm saying is just be mindful, for him to just be mindful. That's just, sometimes, bro, it might just help if you, because you should have practiced.
It might be an Aussie thing.
You should have practiced in the off season, bro. And people might think I'm being harsh, and by all means, you're entitled to your opinion. But those 8, if we bagged those 8 points, it would have been better.
Oh, definitely adds up the points differential.
I think we're minus 18 points differential at the moment, and people might not take that as a big thing, but towards the back end of the season, those points differential make they're the difference between 8th and 9th place.
Oh yeah,
are the difference between playing finals and not playing finals. So
yeah,
mate. Love you, Lukey, but come on, mate. Come on.
I was going to say too, I'll do a shout out to one of the Broncos bench players, but that Corey Jensen, like when he came on, because I think he'd forced a couple of mistakes as well, just through hard defense, and he was running hard. He was actually playing. I thought he played better than bloody Haas and Kerrigan together.
He was awesome, bro. He's so underrated, man. Corey Jensen. I think he's a boss. I just think every time he plays, man, he's just 100% effort. Like, so underrated. Even Kobe Hetherington, I think, is underrated as well. Can't believe the Knights. What the fuck? Hey, oh, bro, they were awful. They were awful, Jazz. I love watching footy. Like it's my love. Like, I'm so passionate about it. But you just have those 1 or 2 teams that you just don't want to watch, and Knights are becoming one of them because they're so goddamn awful. Because you want to see a competition, I mean, that's why I love the sport, is to see a great game between 2 great teams going head to head. But when the other team is just like playing like amateur schoolboys.
Oh, you watch those buggers. The Knights will turn up Christchurch on fire and want to prove a point. Like, and I think Damien said it a few times. I think you've said it as well, Anton and Nick. But the big occasions, the big occasions always get to us, and I'm really hoping the boys just rock down to whatever the stadium is in Christchurch and just focus on the the whole Anzac Day stuff. I hope it doesn't get ahead of them or fucking put them off, whatever. Because that sort of pressure is just like that's just a killer before we even take the paddock. The boys are kind of, I don't know. I'm really hoping this one against the Broncos just keeps us grounded, keeps the boys' feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Their assignment's done and dusted. Next assignment, Knights on Anzac Day. Anzac Day is always going to be a big game for us because we play on Anzac Day, and it's just outside of the Aussies, and again, the Aussies don't give a fuck about us on Anzac Day. It's just like they prove that year after year, us playing in Melbourne and never giving it the chance for the Storm to come play us over here.
Yeah.
And it's just like, So, but for Kiwis, I reckon it's a big deal, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a big crowd in there, and you know, they'll
I
be
think it's sold
provocative.
out, isn't it?
Oh
I'm
no,
sure Christchurch is sold out.
oh, and Christchurch itself has got some really good, old school staunch league clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
There's a
I
few
can
down.
only think of one like Hornby, but they've been around for a long time, you know, and so yeah, they hold their own when it comes to league. So it was a good option to go there, take the Anzac Day game to Christchurch, you know, because those contemporaries will back it regardless if it's
Well,
rugby or league.
like you just said about us, for years we missed out on the Anzac Clash being played here on in Aotearoa. You know, for years we missed out on that, and so now that we've got these opportunities to actually play it here in Aotearoa, then man, let's make the most of it and get those dubs.
Mm,
I
mm,
saw the Warriorholic post up that, you know, with the Knights game, it'll be really good if we can put the sword to them.
yeah.
Knight, sword, see what I did there?
Ha ha.
No, put the sword to
Very
them
clever,
and
bro. Very
get
clever.
rid of this minus 18 on the points differential.
Mm,
I think we can do it, but as I said to you before we went live, you know, we manage for some reason we can get up against these top teams, but then when we play these bottom teams, bottom 4, bottom 8, we seem to, for some reason, I don't know what it is, we seem to kind of fall off the waka a bit. So
yeah.
I don't want to see that this weekend, and I don't imagine it will happen. We're I think we've got a point to prove after that Storm game. I think it would have, you know, really hurt, but I can't see us going down to the Knights. I just can't, and I'm just
Mm, I hope
imagining
so.
the Knights line up in my head, and I'm just like,
Mm,
bro, like, yeah, they've got some good, no doubt. I mean, they've got KP, Bremen, Best, Dane Gagai, you know, Greg Marju, who
Leo Thompson.
even though
Leo
they
Thompson?
got monstered, he was definitely their best player last night.
Mm,
But I don't want to say it, and Rio, I get this from you. It's not going to be an easy game because there's no
mm,
easy games in any footy,
mm,
you know. So I don't want them to go into the game complacent.
mm,
You know, like have you just man full 80 minutes, just crash and bash and get
mm,
up the field and make sure you just convert that territory or that, you know, when we're up there, try and convert it into the points. And I think we can because
mm,
Knights are mud. Oh, I'm
yeah.
just gonna say it. They're pretty bad.
Sorry, I was gonna say read these comments. The Nullen Sink. Sorry, bro, if I've read that wrong. We're better in dewy wet conditions. Equalizes teams. Knights are not much chop. I like that, bro. Uh, what does? Sure. Game is sold out in versus Knights. Nice. Greg liked your joke too, there, Duns. Oh,
What's that? Sorry.
Greg liked your joke too.
Uh,
The very
um,
funny.
and actually talking about the dewy, you know, the rain and stuff. Like,
Mm,
mate, we've won 2 games in the wet
mm,
this year,
yeah.
and God, I remember we got awful in those conditions,
Mm,
but we've really stepped up. So even that's something to take from the games is that, mate, we won twice
mm,
in wet conditions where
mm,
we've you know, usually linked to not playing good in wet conditions. So to come away with two wins due to
mm,
the weather, that's a bonus. So yeah, I'm happy about that as well.
yeah. Um. Uh. What is it? Five star Lexi. Yep. Agreed. All the Knights will turn up against us, especially after that loss and for Anzac Day. Yeah. Yeah. Now the Aussies who know have huge respect for the Kiwis in regards to Anzac Day. That's good to hear, bro. That's good to hear. Maybe not so much with the young generation, but a lot of them they don't know shit in general. That's hard to not to agree with that, my bro. um, yeah, I am looking forward to watching it on Friday night. Here's hoping that we get a dub on Friday night up the wires. Yeah, bro, absolutely.
I think we will. I'm confident we will, but man, see, it's weird because when I'm overly confident, we lose, and when I'm not confident at all, we
Yeah,
win. See, and I
yeah,
was confident going into the Storm game. I was like, you know, I think we can
yeah,
win this, and then we
yeah,
bombed out. Broncos, I was like, oh, I'm not too sure about this one, eh? And then we won. So I'm going to try and be really negative about this game because when I'm
Shit.
feeling like, oh, I don't think we can do it, we do it. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I think we're definitely up for the challenge. But
yeah.
like I said, I just hope the boys don't get complacent. But I don't know if teams go in with that mentality, the easy win mentality, because I'd like to think that they don't. But yeah. And so after the Knights, we've got the Cowboys at
Mm.
Suncorp, and from memory, we've got a good Warriors fan base in Suncorp. Can someone please let me know in the comments?
Oh, actually, even Saturday night, the like when the Broncos scored that first try, god damn, this like the amount of Broncos fans that were out Mount Smart, it was kind of like, bro, there's actually quite a few of them. Like the bulk of the crowd were Warriors fans, but
Yeah.
the Broncos fans that were there, they were noisy. They were noisy as, and it's just like,
You know,
okay, they got some backup.
live games that I've been to, I actually get I actually get really offended by the opposing team's fans. Like, I can't hear the words. I'm just like, bro, if you don't shut up right now. Like, I take shit really personally from other fans and stuff. Like, I get really butthurt where I just want to start throwing hands and being like, bro, you better don't talk about my boys like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh, that's
yeah,
funny.
that's why I prefer to actually watch it at home, because I'm keeping my community safer
Yeah,
by by
the
not going.
the Warriors do have, like, even when they play at Suncorp, they do get good numbers. The support base, like Sydney, outside of Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, even in Melbourne, we still had like they're hearty fans, man, and they're super loud, and they make it known. So they it's that everyone's second favorite team. Like the amount of Broncos fans we were catching up with at the Lily World. Yeah, yeah, there was a few of them like, nah, fuck them, fuck the Wires, you guys are fucking cheats, blah blah blah. But there was a few of them that were kind of like, they are kind of like my second favorite team, but we really wanted to win this tonight. I
That's
was
the
like,
thing, though, is that I think we are everyone's second team,
yeah,
because we get crapped on a lot, and I think, yeah, and maybe
oh,
I don't know, but I think just, and with this whole new Up the Wires movement that started last year, I think it's really,
mm,
stuck with a lot of people, whether they're fans or not. Oh, and
yeah,
old Lukey Metcalf getting the shout out from that basketball player. Is it Lillard? So Luke Metcalf, how he
no,
done the celebration doing
mm,
that, it's
yeah.
actually an NBA player that does that. And so the NBA
Oh,
player
wow, wow,
saw it on social media, and he posted it to his social media, the photo of Luke Metcalf doing
wow,
it. And this
wow,
guy's got 10 million followers.
wow.
So
Oh,
this basketball player, yeah, posted it onto his social media. So now
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
like gone viral. So not
Damn,
Luke putting
yeah,
Warriors
yeah.
on the map too
I
much, brother.
reckon, I
Just get that
reckon.
sorted, eh? Yeah.
I was gonna say, so Miz, I really miss the Kiwi and Aussie Anzac Test matches. Same, my bro. Same. I would love for
Yeah.
the Kiwis to play the Kangaroos on Anzac Day or thereabouts.
And that's what
Yeah,
it should be, eh? That's
yeah,
fuck,
yeah. Heck
get
yeah,
off the
yeah,
shelf.
yeah. And
Far out.
even Big Fish said it last year, or was it the year before?
Yes.
He won the
There was a couple
championship.
of players that
You know?
actually mentioned today that they should bring it
Yeah,
back.
yeah, heck yeah. And it's like just, but and again, this is where it gets a bit political because the NRL, they don't give a fuck about the internationals. They really only after they look after their own interests. So the
Mm.
Kangaroos are touring England into this season doing an Ashes series. They haven't done an Ashes series for like 20 years. And it's like, but what about the Pacific Cup? The Pacific Championship. And it's just like they're real willy nilly in how they kind of just think, oh yeah, we'll do this next year. Oh yeah, we'll try this, and and it's kind of like
Oh, look,
you're a bunch of assholes for starters. Kind
they're
of
a bunch of
just
tonguey whittles,
oh yeah,
like we've got at the moment this whole Payne Haas thing about him wanting to deflect and pay for someone. Like, bro,
mm,
that's mean. Good on you.
mm,
And then
yeah,
I went into and then I went into the comments section when all this kind of broke headlines. And I'll tell you what, bro, some of the comments in there were borderline racist.
oh
I
wow,
was actually blown away. Like people like, oh, PIs, just there for the fucking go back to. I was just like, bro, like
Wow.
It's so bad. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. I was just like, mate, there's no
Mm.
room for that in NRLA, just racist,
Yeah.
blatant remarks. And they're like, oh, everything that Aussie and NRL have done for you. I'm like, bro, what about what these players have done for Australia?
Mm. Oh yeah, heck
Like,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, a lot of Australians have to realise that there's,
Mm.
people only watch games because of the Payne Haas's and the Tenors and the, Luais and the Terrell
Mm.
Mays. Um, yeah, and it really upset me actually. I left the comment and I had an argument with a guy in the comment section, and he was like, "Oh, he's born in Australia, so he's Australian." And this guy's name was
Skippy?
no, it was like, oh, I maybe I shouldn't say it live, but anyway,
Oh yeah, okay.
he didn't have an Australian European name anyway. So, um, but yeah, I just thought it was, yeah. Anyway, I had an argument, a
Yeah.
Facebook argument with some clown. Because one, I think he said, "Oh, you're biting the hand that feeds you," and that one just
Yeah,
said,
yeah, 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 yeah. And that's just ignorance, and it's kind of like
"Yeah,
you
man,
guys have had it your own way for so long, and when these boys are starting to make their own minds up, make their own decisions, now you decide the eligibility rules need to be tightened up or loosened or whatever, and it's like you didn't give a fuck about that 5 years ago,
David Seymour."
and it's like, and now, well, yeah, yeah, that too. Now it's an issue, that these boys
Yeah,
want to go back and represent their grandparents, their parents, or their grandparents, or the island nations. And it's like, that was never an issue for you clowns because you had the pick of the
yeah,
litter, and it's like, these guys are just showing they're all grown up. It's a different day and a different time now.
yeah,
If they want,
exactly.
boys want to go off and play for Tō Samoa, Wate the Cook Islands, whatever, they should be allowed,
Yeah,
Get,
without no, I don't think they should have to explain their
yeah,
choices to
yeah.
anybody. Like, yeah, I just think. Sorry, guys, we're going a bit off topic here. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
Warriors,
Kind of
but
gone a bit
but
sideways.
um, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think it'd be fantastic for the international game. And I'm just going to say, like, one of the best games that I have in my memory is when Tonga beat Australia.
Mm,
Um, I thought that was just the best game ever, just to take down the Giants, the
yeah,
World Rugby League world champs. So yeah. Um, but anyway,
yeah.
shall we talk about the next week's
Anzac
quiz?
Day. Anzac Day.
Yes.
Yes, let's. Um, yeah. Now that's pretty much
Yeah,
covered
bro,
off the
exactly,
game, eh?
Jazz.
Yeah.
What Jose, how are
Um,
you, bro? How's your fellows super coach going? I'll be checking mine after the game.
Jose we had jumped on that Sunday night, and Jazz. That when I kind of was ready to jump back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, just remember the brothers jumping on like, oh me.
Yeah, a
Um,
lot of the peeps in here, a lot of the homies in here though. We're all regulars on the Waz Up TV. We all jump in. We're there all the time, bros, in the comments section, chatting amongst ourselves. And it's awesome. We're
nice.
like our own little family over there. And in here, I love these. I love it. Love these
Yeah.
Warriors and content
No, that's all good.
spaces.
Um, so sorry. So Friday, Anzac Day, Warriors versus the Knights at Apollo Project Stadium. I'm assuming that's the home of the Crusaders, but it'll be the Fortress of Faith come Friday night, or an
Yeah, I love it.
outpost,
Yeah,
one
I
of
love
the
it.
outposts. Yeah. So the Knights, yeah, the Knights, yeah. Hopefully we do stick it to them. Unfortunately, the Warriors we have that history of beating the teams we shouldn't and losing to the teams we should have
Yeah,
won, or beaten
yeah,
kind of thing. Um, so yeah, it's going to be a 5 past 8, 5 past 8 Friday night. Um,
yes. Friday
yeah,
game, awesome.
yeah. I might just go to the pub after work and just park up. Wait till eight
Nice.
o'clock, and then yeah, we're into it. Coax a couple of my workmates to hang around and tell them this is what a real game looks like, all right?
Or even
But
if you're watching from home one night, or I know Waz Up TV have they have watch-alongs on YouTube, and
oh, okay,
sometimes I go over there and you have watch-alongs. Obviously, you watch it on your own TV, but everyone's in the group chat, and then you've got Levon and Nash running it. and it's heaps of fun. Everyone's in there chatting during the game, like just like we do on our messenger
like
chat,
this.
like how we do on our messenger, on our group, on our
Oh,
Warriors.
okay.
You know how
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
all in here, and yeah,
yeah.
same thing
Oh,
over
sure.
on the YouTube channel. It's
Oh
pretty
no.
cool.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see who Webby if he sticks with the same lineup. And once again, I'm just going back to what he said in the press conference about Egan playing 80 minutes isn't every week is unrealistic. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if he runs out with the same bench or the same 17, should I say, and Timoiti on the bench.
If Uncle's true to form, he won't. There won't be many changes.
Yeah.
It's just the way he is, and unless people pull up injured during training or during the week, it's just the way he works, kind of thing. You know, it's like
yeah. I can't see any changes, but
yeah.
It's just got me thinking about the Egan thing, and I'm wondering. I mean, how long did Egan go off for? 10 minutes?
Might
10,
have been
15 minutes?
15. Yeah. He got a bit of a break, and I was just like, oh, sure, okay.
I don't mind it
Jose
though.
was yeah.
I don't
Jose.
mind him going off for a break. If we want to keep him healthy for a full season, touch wood, if we want to keep him as healthy as possible, then I don't mind it. I don't mind if he only plays 65 minutes, depending on how we're going in the game. But yeah, as I said, with Timoiti, if Timoiti's coming off the bench, I want to see him more involved in those 20 minutes. I'm not too sure how much involved you can get, but the people in the comment section, you probably know what I mean. But
yeah. Oh, so Jose was saying seeing K's back,
sure,
Barry's back. Real
oh,
jump in the Wise Up TV watch along when you can, bro. Mean fun, good peeps. Oh, sure. No, yeah, we'll give it a gem, my bro. I'm not. I'll be honest, bro, and I think I said this last week too. This whole IT stuff, I'm like, I need one of those books, IT for Dummies, because it's just like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
So we went to go live last week, boys, and or everyone in the chat, we went to go live last week, and obviously before they all hit the live button, I'm like sitting here on my laptop, and I'm like, why can we not see me? And it wasn't until a few days later that I realised I hadn't taken, because it's a new laptop, I hadn't taken the tape off the camera. The boys know on the messenger. I was like, sorry, that's why I couldn't see myself. It's because I had the tape on over the camera, but I figured it out.
Boys, before you boys that are jumping in on the comments, give us your predictions for Anzac Day, eh? What do you who do you reckon is gonna come up trumps, and give us your predictions for scores, eh?
Miz, I hear you, bro. We were discussing the kicking earlier on in the live stream, and yeah, that's a concern. But
is that Sam Healy? Sam Healy give Healy a bench spot. He's that young hooker with the New South Wales Cup side. He had a good game.
He had a solid game, man.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind seeing Healy and Tanner Boyd if they can make room for them. But again, where do you fit them in, kind of thing? My crystal ball, Boyd at 14 or Healy. Oh yeah, sure.
Maybe Boyd would be a good option. Like I said, in the last 20 minutes of the game, just to give Luke Metcalf more of an opportunity to run with the ball instead of worrying about how to direct the traffic around the park. And I say this, and I mean it with the utmost respect, guys, is that his biggest attribute is his speed and his running. And I think when he's trying to direct traffic, he doesn't probably get to do that as much as I'd like him to, because, it's all about what I want as a fan. But yeah, I don't know. Be interesting to see anyway.
Got a couple
of predictions coming. I didn't like him coming off the bench, to be honest. I was actually wrecked when I saw him named on the 17, but yeah, I just nah. Mind you, it's only game one. If he gets more game time, hopefully that'll change and he really makes a difference. But I didn't think he added anything to Saturday night's game, in my opinion. You might think differently, but yeah.
Just got a couple of scores coming in there. Chance?
Yes, pardon?
Just got a couple of scores coming in. So
Oh, yeah.
Nellen Sink said 28-12 Wires. 5-star Liski said 30-12 Wires.
Jazz
Warriors.
22-12
Jazz. I'm,
Warriors.
I'm writing your scores down, boys. Jazz.
But due to the conditions, it's tough for any NRL hooker. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I get that, but, you know. Oh, Greg Hook with the 25-19, Jose with the 42-18. I like that score, Jose. I like that score, and I think we can crack that.
Nice.
I think we can crack that. Does anyone know what have we got a weather report for Christchurch on Friday?
True. That's a mean score, Jose. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. I can see us getting to that.
You reckon? Damn.
Yeah, Berry back.
Is Leo
But
Thompson playing?
I actually the two times that Cussie's played on the wing for us this season, I think he's done well. Yeah, he's knocked it on, but he always does. So
He
now,
scored a fortuitous try Saturday
yeah,
night.
yeah, and he was onto it just to to go after that and just I think he's gotten better. I think he's gotten better. Just the last two games, you can definitely see that despite the little errors, I think he was still solid in some parts.
Yeah. I'd but if Berry's back, CNK's back, if Chance is back, then it's going to be like,
Been changed to the
who
wing
loses out?
again.
Yeah.
It'll be Cossie. Cossie will go back to Cup, I'm assuming. Tane back on the wing, Berry back in the centres with. Oh no, so Ali will jump over, won't he? Ali will go over. Pompey will stay on the wing.
Yeah.
Ali and then
Cable
Berry
will go
and
back
Tane
to
on
the
the
back
right.
row.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're back for another couple of round. I think it was round 11 for Dallin, and I think Rogers round 10.
Yeah, they're around about the same time. I think RTS is
Yeah.
between 10 and 14, both of them.
Oh,
Dylan's round 10A, and I think RTS is round between 10 and 14. And Fish should be around back the same time. Wouldn't that be awesome if all three of them just came back around about the same time and have a full strength team? Touch wood, no one else gets injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Cossie gets an extension? Ooh, that's a good question.
I think Cussie's ceiling is, and I know he's been with us for a long time, but I think he's just, mate, like I can see great potential in him, eh? Like he's big, he's strong. I can see great potential in him. I think he could be a real dominant winger, like hard out, but I think he's a confidence player. So when he knocks the ball on or he makes an error, it really tugs at his heartstrings. And if he can just push that aside and just take it on the chin and be like, okay, right, over it, move on, get on to the next play, then because I think he could be awesome, but it's just it's all up to him really, to better himself and overcome those hurdles.
Yep. So if anyone knows
Shot Lexi, man.
if anyone knows in the comments, like have the Warriors got a NZ jersey this year or what? Because it's been pretty quiet, unless they're just playing in the home strip, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, just whatever. They've played in their home strips before.
Sunday out Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, so should fall fine on Friday. Man, good news. Well, that's good for us. Yeah. Oh, did I give my score predictions?
No, and neither have I.
What number? Hang on. Is Maju left or right winger? Can someone just chuck it up quickly? Is he 5 or 2? I'm sure he's. Just do Anzac warm up. T was HQ said.
Okay. Yeah.
He can be like a Greg Marjou build. Yeah.
Chuo Picky has overperformed, surprised many. Yeah, bro, absolutely. He reminds me of a young Brent Webb, just his size, his speed. Probably not as stocky as Brent Webb, but like he's nippy, man. And when he goes from 0 to 100, and it's just like bang. I love what Tane brings. Tane. Yeah.
He was destructive in that second half, man. Like he kept those Broncos on their toes. He was probably one of my after watching it live, even though I had to watch it back to front, so I got home and had to watch the second half, and then I had to watch the. But anyway, yeah, I thought he was awesome, man. Heaps of little runs, and yeah, they really struggled to contain him, eh?
Mm.
Bet against us, bet against us, man. I need that dub. I actually have a couple of times, Jazz. Oh, but it's the Knights, bro. If it was someone like, if we were playing someone like, I mean, I don't know, Panthers, even, you know, I'd probably bet against us. But bro, fuck.
Sorry, I just saw Jazz's comment.
I just
um,
hope we get the dub. Put it this way, I hope we get the dub. But I
mm.
just really hope the Knights bring a hard, like a solid game. I hope they don't. It's not a where it's one of those stop-start games because they're dropping the ball all the time or they're making errors. Like I want the Knights to play good footy.
Actually, sorry, before I forget too. So we went to the full-time bar in, I think it's Mount Eden, the Warriors bar, and
oh yeah,
we were just parked up having a bit of a cry and stuff. Beautiful setup. Anyway, the Super Rugby was on. I think it was like the Fijian team, the Jura against New South Wales. Honestly, it was like 10 minutes of kicking the ball backwards and forwards, just going like
yeah.
that. And it was just like, why the fuck are we even watching this? It's just like
I
this
know.
game's just not as entertaining as it used to be. It was just like,
It's
oh,
like tennis, eh? But with your feet
yeah,
watching
yeah,
rugby. I'm like, man, can
that
someone
was
just run the
disappointing.
ball?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
they
watch
ain't.
other sports. So, like, footy is life for me. Family, food, and footy.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just. But the bar itself, and like one of the managers is, we met one of the managers, young fella named Danny, Parker fella, good guy, real nice guy.
Oh man,
Yeah, he
were
looked
there heaps
after
of
us.
Warriors? Was it packed out with Warriors fans?
Oh no, because we'd got there. I think it was like Saturday afternoon, hung around for a couple of hours, but the fans were starting to turn up. And again, it's like seeing the jerseys and stuff, and like yeah, and then we kind of made our way to the stadium, but it was cool. Kind of, it's a really nice bar. What is it, Tons?
That is, we got. I can't look down. It's my Warriors Legends T-shirt.
Nice, nice. That's stylish, bro. That's very cool.
Yeah, there's this Māori couple here in Wellies. They've got their own little side hustle, and they make up T-shirts, and they actually went to the game in Vegas, and so they printed up tees for the game over there because I think it was
Oh,
them and a like group of friends. So they printed up these Vegas Warriors T-shirts, and they were so cool, man. But yeah, they make up some real awesome Warriors gears. I will post up their details. I'll put it in the Wires Up TV group chat as well, and I'll post it up on our Warriors Fan TV chat as well. They're on Facebook, but yeah, awesome. They have heaps of different designs, heaps of different So they're really cool.
mm.
Multi couple that do it.
What was HQ? I watch both codes. I love both codes. I understand the entertainment factor is missing in Union, but I feel it is more for people who like chess matches. Oh no,
Yeah,
that's cool, bro. But like
oh,
I used to
my
love the
favourite.
Hurricanes back in the day, the All Blacks, and it's like their type of entertainment, especially in rugby. It's almost like the Northern Hemisphere have still have that type of entertaining rugby, whereas the rugby down here, it's just shit house, bro. It's like league is like rugby league isn't a league of its own, and
Yeah,
the
I
way the
agree.
NRL are selling it, it's just like why wouldn't you watch it? It's
Yeah. I remember
guys,
my dad
it's
years
easy.
ago saying to me, union and league, they're both the same, except, in union you have lineouts. And then when I watched it, I was like, bro, there is nothing similar about these two games.
Mm,
That's what I think anyway. I've watched rugby. I
yeah.
actually remember going to a Hurricanes and Highlanders game here at Westpac Stadium years ago. And I'm up there.
Mm.
I thought it was the teams warming up, so I'm up there recording. Bros, it was the officials in the green. And
Okay.
I was dead quiet during the whole game because I just had no idea what was going on. I was like, what? Like, what's the 24? And because all the numbers on the jerseys are different, like I know with league what numbers, what position, and union, I have no friggin' idea. You got 11, 15. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm lost.
I'll chuck my score in now, Tons, just before you do
Okay.
yours. But I'm gonna say,
Yeah, I agree. Let's see.
going by the feedback from the crew. Again, the law averages. I'm gonna go 36-20 to the Warriors.
30 or what's that?
36-20. I'm just going to give those score lines back. Sorry if I get this wrong, team, but Nalin Sink said 28-12 Warriors. 5-star Leski said 30-12 Warriors. Jazz 22-12 Warriors. Jose 42-18. I do like those numbers, bro. Warriors. Greg 25-19 Warriors. I'm on 36-12. You're the last to go there, Towns.
Should I might go double big? I don't know. Like,
sure.
I'm thinking this. What did Jose say? 46-12.
Jose said 42-18.
42-18. I'm around the same. I might go 42-10.
42-10?
42, yeah, 42-10, 42-6, something like that. If we bring our best game and just fucking put our foot on their throat and just go hard. Just go hard, man.
Oh, so Wise HQ just gave us a score.
28-6.
HQ.
Yeah, it'll be good to get rid of those that minus 18 points on our points differential table. That'll be awesome to get that.
Sorry, Tons, were you 42-10 or 42-6?
42-10. I think they've got 2 tries in them.
Nice. Knights Attack is really poor this season. Okay.
Yes, it is Wales HQ. It's sad. And it's actually hard as a fan. I'm just like, bro, like, fuck, you guys are rat shit to watch.
We're gonna wrap it up, team. But just want to say thanks heaps to the fellas for jumping in and with your comments and all the rest of it. Really appreciate it. Much love, So from Warriors Fan TV to the universe, the Warriors universe, all right? And everyone else listening and all the rest of it. Thanks heaps. Yep.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, up the fucking wires. Go the
Warriors all day, baby.
Yeah.